Hello again everyone, Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. I want to bring you an intro to tanking in World of Warcraft Shadowlands. You're out there, you've done the DPS, maybe you haven't done the DPS, but you want to try tanking. You think that's something you're going to enjoy and something you want to do. It is split into two sections, PvP and PvE. This will be more geared towards the PvE aspect, so instead of the rated BGs and that sitting on flags, this will be geared towards Mythic Plus dungeons and raiding. Mainly striving on the Mythic Plus, but I will touch on the raiding a bit, as the knowledge you need for raiding is mainly boss fights. So you need to know what the boss is going to do, where to move the group, where to have the boss, what way to face the boss, what mechanic is coming up next, and it's it's essentially only boss focused because the trash packs are just trash packs and you fire right through them. So a lot of this will be geared towards Mythic Plus and how I set up for it as well. So there are a couple things that you will want to know. Tanking in this game is just essentially knowledge based. Now what I mean by that is in Mythic Plus dungeons, you will need to know the mechanics of the trash packs, what can be kicked, what can't be. Your big job is to mark on what you want to attack, so a skull on something, or you can let your group know at the beginning. Like, communication is great. Let them know at the beginning, hey, range, always kick blue square. So mark an enemy that you want kicked with blue square, and then they want to burn down skull. So skull always means just kill that guy first. So you can mark one with skull that you want killed, and then have range watch out for the blue square to kick it. So that is a great way to set up for Mythic Plus, because there's a lot of mechanics in there that need kicked. That will be your first thing. I suggest getting familiar, other than getting familiar with your class, try doing lower ones first, because tanking is all about repetition, getting to know the routes, getting to know this, getting to know the enemies. And what I mean by routes is, since this is an intro one, in Mythic Plus dungeons, you need to kill a certain amount of trash packs to get to 100% of the dungeon. Now, different packs carry different percentages, and a great add-on to get for it is MDT, Mythic Dungeon Tool. This is almost a necessity. You can plan your route through here, or you can, if you don't want to get this add-on, you don't want to run this add-on, I will show you another way to do it as well, but you won't be able to customize it. So you can see if I remove that pack, the count goes down to 99.29, which will not be completed. You need to get to 100%. So you add packs to pulls. Now that one added to pull number 8, which I remove, and you can add it to pull number, click on 1, add it to pull 1, and then you're pulling both those packs. You can actually share this. So you can share this line, so if whoever has MDT in your group can actually see what route you want to take, and you can skip different ones. So say you don't want to pull this inner pack here, and you want to scroll down and add a pull, and you want to pull this pack here. You can do that as well. You can see it gets you to 101% as well. Just options you can do with this are endless. It's amazing. You can see where you're getting pride. Here's 60% you're getting a pride, 80% you're getting a pride, and 100% you're getting a pride, and it shows you what pull you're going to get it on, which is very handy information. It shows you the affixes. These were actually last week's affixes. I haven't updated for this week yet because I haven't done any Mythic Dungeons yet this week, but you'll be able to update it to this week. Now, that being said, once you dive into this tool, this is great. If you don't want to go into this, go to raider.io. Look for the top tab that says News. You can use the drop down there, and you can get the weekly routes. The weekly routes will be two options. One has a skip in it, or the non-skip version, depending if you have rogues, warlocks, or if you don't. You can use it, and you can look at it on the site. You can't adjust it on the site, but you can see the route to take on the site. Great tool to have for tanking, because tanks are expected to know the route and expected to know the percentages. So that's your first thing for Mythic Plus. Knowing the routes, knowing the percentages, or having the tools to find out what you need. The next thing is get yourself a great UI that you can see what you have for cooldowns. These will be your cooldowns you need to know. Minor to defensives, like your demon spikes, your fiery brands, and everything is up here. Your immolation, your sigil flames. These are all my sigils on this bar. This is fracture and everything I have, and the cooldowns. This will be great UI. I've also added a health bar because I like to see my health. I don't want to have to like look around and try and find a little bar over here. I got this bar from a friend. Great big bar. Very, very useful. That was done in Weakaura, so if you want the add-on, go to Weakauras, and you can search Weakauras to get different versions and create a health bar if you like for yourself. That is another good add-on. The third add-on I recommend for tanking is Plater. And what Plater does is it changes the nameplates. So you can see this has a different nameplate. Red means they're hostile to me. Yellow means they're not. You can see it will have a debuff. The blue means I don't have aggro on him. So if I'm a tank, I want aggro on that. So you can just taunt him and he will come over. Yellow's not quite, and he just switched to red before he died. So that's the way I have my nameplate set up. But the reason I use Plater is to see the debuffs on them. Very useful for things like Inspiring. If you see this guy's Inspiring, you see the Inspiring buff above him. I just put a buff on there to show you. You can trap him, pull back the rest of the packs, and that's how you can help your group while tanking. Because tanking, you're basically running the show. People want to just follow the tank around, do what he does, and do what he says. You are basically group lead. You run it. They go where you go, and they do what you do. They kill what you kill. So you're expected to have a lot of knowledge, and that's the main thing I can say. If you're going to be a tank and you want to be a tank, it's great, and it's a fun experience. I enjoy tanking, but they do expect you to have a lot of knowledge on it, unless you're running with buddies and the buddies tell you, hey, why don't we do this way or why don't we do that way, and you just say, hey, I don't know the route, and just tell me where to go. You can do that as well. Very helpful if you have Discord to do that, but that is an option. That being said, remember when you're tanking, because this is an intro video, face the group away from your group. Because there are cleave effects, there are damage effects, there are bleed effects, and they will kill your group if you're not facing away. Again, knowledge is your best thing. Mythic or raid, knowledge is going to be your key to success. Knowing what to kick, knowing what's going to debuff you, knowing when to use your defensives. Oh, for the last add-on, get Deadly Boss Mod. I will make prompts in the middle of your screen that says interrupt this on a boss. Use a defensive. It's a very, very good add-on to have as well. So the add-ons were Weakauras, Deadly Boss Mod, Plater, Mythic Dungeon Duel. Great add-ons to have. Now, I'm a low gear score. I finally just got him over 190. All last week I was 182. And 182 I wasn't doing terribly. This is just an alt, so he did a bunch of keys. He was able to get some 8s, a couple 7s, 1 8, couple 7s, 6s. So I was doing fairly decent keys for gear score, as my gear score was 182, I think, for most of the week, which, 8s are dropping 200 gear. So I'm 18 item levels below. So there was some stuff that will hit very, very hard, and knowing your defensives is going to be key. But again, most of what you need to know is just through repetition. Knowing the dungeons. Start low. Like, you can be over-geared for dungeons and start low just to get routes down. You can be over-geared, start low, so you'll know when stuff like chunks some of your health. You won't go all the way down, but you might go 25% off and be like, oh, maybe I should have used a defensive, because in higher keys that will one-shot me. Just repetition on repetition, and Mythic keys are great for that. And if you're a higher item level than the key you're doing, you'll easily get invited. People will follow. Trash will die quick. And it will just get you used to, okay, this mob's going to do this, or this mob's going to do this. And this mob I need to kick this spell. And this mob I need to watch out for this ability because it's going to one-shot me, or it's going to hit hard and I need to use a defensive or a cooldown on it. It's all about the knowledge again. Knowledge is your key. But if you're just looking to start out and this is going to be your first tank run, just let them know. Let them know, hey, I'm fresh to tanking. Try this out. I know we got to kick some certain things, but any assistance you guys have would be great. And people are, for the most part, let's stress that, for the most part, pretty good. People are pretty good, especially if you're new to tanking and trying to get into it, because they know, if they've ever played the game, they know tanking just isn't instant. It's not instantaneous you become a tank. it takes, some effort to become a tank and become good. It's like anything. It takes effort to become good at DPS. It takes effort to become good at healing. A lot of it is just done through playing the game. So get out there, try it out. Again, start, if you're, 180, start at Mythic Zeros or Mythic Plus 2s. If you're, leveling a character, start doing dungeons while you're leveling. That will get you a good idea of how to keep aggro, what your taunts are, when to use that. Taunting is going to be one of the things you'll need to know, because as a demon hunter, I have one taunt, so you need to know when to use it. I do also have a glaive that will generate aggro, but it's not the end-all be-all to generate aggro. I didn't grab it off him. A second glaive doesn't grab it off him. You need to basically hit a pack that hasn't been touched yet to get the aggro. I even taunted and it didn't grab it fully off until now. So it's just knowing what your character is capable of. But again, comes back down to practice, trial and error. You won't know what you're capable of until you fail, because then you'll know, oh, that was too much. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. Like, share, subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the websites, raider.io for your weekly routes. You can go to tanknotes.com, and Tanknotes will give you some great information about all the Mythic dungeons, about the raids and everything. It gives you vital information on what to kick, what not to kick. And again, if you're getting into it, start low, work your way high. You can only progress from going up, and you can only progress if you try. And if you don't, it just won't come. So enjoy the tanking. It is a fun experience. And like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.